Wouldn't it be really cool if I made myself some really ridiculous, crazy big, tall horns, took a picture of myself, and then edited in Photoshop? You're right, it would be. And that's why this week I've decided to take a picture of myself wearing crazy big, long, giant horns that I've made and edit it in Photoshop with you. So first step is to gather our materials. So I'm going to use some EVA foam. Then we need to grab glue and a glue gun. What I'm going to do is cut this into a bunch of little strips, some smaller and then some wider at the bottom, and then I'm going to attach them in circles up into a nice horn shape. Okay, so I have my two horns ready to go. I actually like one over the other. I changed what I was doing when I was building them. This one I cut into little pieces. This one I just used long strips and rolled them together. And this one I like a lot better. So, I could just make a whole new one, but I'm not going to. It's okay that they're different. So what I'm going to do next is get these a paint. Like I'm going to spray them with a plasti dip and wait for them to dry, and then I'm going to paint them and add some detail. Okay, they are dry and ready to go. I kind of already formed them down with a heat gun, so that's why they're a little bit curved. So I'm going to take my rotary tool next and give them some marks and make them a little bit more interesting instead of just circles on top of each other, and see how it goes. Right, they are all done. I already put them on top of my head. The one silly thing that I completely forgot about is the clips that will go to clip them to my hair. So I have all of this pinned to my head with photography background clips. There's like 4 of them back there, and they're very, very tightly attached to my head, so nothing like moves. Not the best way of doing it, but it's on. And it's also why my hair is a little odd, because they're not made for hair. So let's go ahead and move on to taking the pictures of everything and putting it in Photoshop. Okay, let's look at our first edit. So this first picture kind of reminds me of Monster High, or perhaps maybe like a monster or demon walking around Halloween Town, because it's just very normal person in a outfit, but it definitely gives me like some sort of like monster-y school yearbook kind of scenario. I'm not sure why, but it does. You may think something different. If you do, let me know in the comments what you think, but that's the vibe it gives me. For this picture, I think you can tell I gave myself hot pink hair, dark circles around my eyes, and a nice blue tongue. And for some reason, I really like the nice, really blue tongue. It just really makes the picture pop a little bit more. I did a couple different edits of the same kind of style of picture. In the final result, you'll see all of them, but they all that are kind of like this definitely remind me of like a Halloween Town, Monster High kind of scenario. But I think that they all came out super cool. I think think my favorite of all of these is the one with the green face and pink hair, which you'll see later on. Okay, so this next image is more of an ethereal kind of vibe. It kind of reminds me of a demon in the sky, or like in a other earthly area. I'm not sure. It just is very ethereal to me. The skin is nice and soft, and I don't know, it's a whole different vibe out of every single other image that I created, but I think it's really cool. So let's move on to our next one. This image I actually did in 2 pieces. So I created this one with the idea of overlaying different color layers on top of each other to just see how they worked out, because I was looking at a picture of Avatar and I thought that it would kind of be the same if I overlaid the color layers on top of each other to create designs within the colors, and I thought that that would be really cool, and I've never really played with the color layers like this before. Each layer has its own blending mode, so they're all color layers with the blending mode of color over top of them. Some of them I think I definitely changed to something different to give it a different look, but I think it was really fun to play with. You'll see me later kind of remove some of the things that I was working on, and then I turn into this very interesting rainbow character, which I also really like because rainbows. But it was really fun to just like start stacking colors on top of each other and just see how they play with together and end up working out in the long run. And this image actually ends up being my favorite out of all of them. I think that it came out super, super cool, especially whenever we get to the second part. I think it just really makes it pop. Here we are in the second part of this image, and literally I just went from editing the one straight to this one because I thought that it would be cool to add some extra into the background. That's not what I originally had planned for these. I was just going to take them on white backgrounds and just leave it at that. But this one, it needed some sort of an ethereal background, and I think that it made it look so cool with the ethereal sky and sunset behind it. I ended up adding in a lot of extra color and adding in what I like to consider to be fairies or different like lights that I would like to think are alive around me, and I think it looks super, super cool. But let me know what you think about the edits that we have here in the comments below. I would love to know your thoughts. And usually I don't normally do edits that are this kind of thing. Like I usually have like a story in my head that has to be drawn out or written out, and there's a whole set of details and whatnot that go with the picture, so it's a lot easier for my like brain to decide how to build it. This isn't anything like that, at least I didn't make it that way, so it was a little harder, but I still think it came out great. And that's it. These are all the images we created with this really cool prop. I can't wait to do this again, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If by chance you love this as well and you want to come into the studio and take your own shots with this prop, you can find me at saysjess.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, and I will see you next time.